Hi, this is Aaron Wilson from KPRC2 Sports. Now that the Texans have hired Nick Caley as their new offensive coordinator, one of the biggest questions was, how will the configuration of his staff work, along with the philosophy, direction, strategy of the offense, and of course personnel, which is going to be a big topic for this offseason. Well, let's start with the coaching staff and what we've seen and reported over the last couple of days. So Cole Popovich, not fired. Instead, he is promoted to run game coordinator and head offensive line coach. So he had an expiring deal in later this month, and instead of being a free agent, he is back with the Texans. So that's a key hire. Obviously, the offensive line. Now they've dismissed Chris Strausser. This will be on Cole Popovich to fix this offensive line that allowed 54 total sacks this past season, 52 sacks, C.J. Stroud, second most sacked quarterback in the NFL behind Caleb Williams from the Chicago Bears. So that's the big thing, protection. And Nick Caley, he understands protections, and so does Cole Popovich. And there's a familiarity of them together, that continuity, because they were colleagues with the New England Patriots, working for Bill Belichick, winning Super Bowls. And I think that's key, because you want to have coaches that have that chemistry and that don't have to go over a lot of things, because they both understand what are the goals, what are you trying to accomplish. So you have definitely some rapport there with Nick Caley, the Texans' new offensive coordinator, coming from the Rams, where he was a tight ends coach and passing game coordinator. That's going to be one of the biggest tasks they have, is protecting C.J. Stroud better, keeping him standing so that he can find his receivers, so he can stay healthy. He got banged up a little bit. I know that he didn't have to miss games, but he had a knee thing, he had an ankle, and sometimes his shoulder was hurting. So that is job number one. And I can tell you this, Cole Popovich is very well liked by the Texans offensive linemen, a lot of respect for him. And let's go look at his background a little bit. Cole had worked for the Patriots and would have still been with the Patriots. He's a Dante Scarnecchia disciple. Made a decision during COVID, like some others, to not want to do the vaccine. So that was something that he was required to do. And so he made a decision for himself and his family not to do that. So the Patriots moved on from him, and he moved on to Troy University. Then he joined the Texans. And over the past couple of years, the first year, they had a lot of success. They had good pass protection, and C.J. Stroud's the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. So they'll try to recapture that. And so that'll be a big task for Cole Popovich, who's considered a good young rising coach and a Dante Scarnecchia protege, and he'll try to implement some of his teachings to this Texans offensive line now that he's actually in charge of the offensive line. Another big one, Jerrod Johnson, the quarterback's coach that was a finalist for the offensive coordinator job, interviewed here, interviewed for the Las Vegas Raiders, interviewed for the New York Jets. Last year interviewed for 6 different offensive coordinator jobs, including Tampa Bay, New England, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New Orleans. So he winds up sticking with the Texans this season under an upgraded contract. And he's been instrumental to C.J. Stroud's success. He is staying on as part of the Nick Caley staff. So that's a key thing that keeps C.J. Stroud very happy. And I think it's important to C.J.'s continued development to have someone like Jerrod Johnson in the building. We've talked a lot about Jerrod on some of these videos and on www.click2houston.com. So, yeah, I think everyone's very familiar with Jerrod and what he brings to the table, and that he's considered also a bright young coach with a good future. So he's chosen to stay on, and I think that's a real positive for the Nick Caley staff. Of course, it's DeMeco Ryans' staff, but it's Nick Caley's offense, and so he's going to have some autonomy here. There's going to be another familiar name for those that really closely watch the Patriots and John Carroll University. Nick Caley, former student assistant coach at JCU, which is, of course, the alma mater of Nick Caserio, the Texans general manager. And it's also where Jerry Shaplinski, a senior offensive assistant for the Los Angeles Rams, it's where he went to school. He was a running back for them. Then he was a assistant coach for JCU, and he worked for the Patriots. He was an assistant quarterbacks coach with Tom Brady, and they won 3 Super Bowls with him on those Bill Belichick staff. So he's worked together with Caley. He's worked with Popovich. So you have 3 coaches that have already worked together, and this is more the continuity that you hope for when you're putting together a coaching staff they weren't able to have in the first 2 seasons of the DeMeco Ryans era, which has, of course, been successful regardless of the lack of continuity, just of guys that had worked together before a lot. And you look at Shaplinski, and he's got a good background. He was tight ends coach for the Raiders and also a senior offensive assistant. He has coached quarterbacks. He coached Ryan Fitzpatrick to one of his statistically best seasons with the Miami Dolphins. And when Daniel Jones was putting up some good rushing numbers and having a good enough season to earn a new contract from the Giants, he was the quarterbacks coach. In New England, he was someone that would draw up the plays, draw up the cards, the play cards for the quarterbacks. So he worked very closely with Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels, another JCU guy. So there's a lot of familiarity with the McDaniels and Ben McDaniels, the receivers coach and passing game coordinator, who of course has lots of ties to, Ohio, which is where a lot of these guys are from. And at one point, Shaplinski, in his hometown, he was at Trinity High School in Garfield Heights, Ohio. He was the head football coach. He was the athletic director. And he was also a math teacher. So he has an education background. Before he really got far into coaching, he's worked on the other side of the football, Case Western Reserve, coaching linebackers. So just some things to know about Jerry Shaplinski, who is expected to join the staff. What title he'll have, I think it probably could be senior offensive assistant, but that's not been determined yet what his title will be, but I've been told by several sources he is expected to join the staff. So we'll see once Shaplinski becomes official what they announce him as and how it all come together in terms of what assignments, what responsibilities everyone has. But I think they've got a chance here to put something together that's pretty good, because unlike the other staffs that they've had the first 2 years where it's kind of thrown together, it's a hodgepodge, because you're coming from the 49ers, you're a first-time head coach, DeMeco Ryans, and you can't just take everybody from San Francisco with you. They're not going to leave or be allowed to leave. So you have to put together the staff. You've never been a head coach before. You haven't coached other places besides the 49ers, so it's difficult to piece together these kind of staffs, and just all of a sudden you've got it ready to go. And I think this will evolve. You look at other coaches on the staff. There's some good ones like Danny Barrett, the assistant head coach and running backs coach, and he's still here. And we'll see how it finalizes. But these are some key hires. Cole Popovich promoted with a new job title and bigger responsibilities. And one thing I've been hearing a lot is they intend to run the football. It's not just going to be C.J. Stroud airing it out all the time. They have a great running back in Joe Mixon. I think they're going to pound the football, be smash mouth, and try to impose their will against these defenses. And they need to. They need to have ball control. They need to keep this dynamic, fast defense fresh and not on the field all the time in sudden change situations. I look at what they can be in 2025 with a good offense, special teams, and potentially great defense. And again, it looks like a playoff team to me and a division champion. Taking that next step, that takes a lot of time, a lot of days, and a lot of things falling their way. And it's going to take some new players. And we're going to talk about free agency, and we're going to talk about some of the decisions facing this team on these videos, on this channel. And I appreciate you guys joining me here and joining the conversation. I read the comments. I comment and like on some of them when I have time. And yeah, we're all in this together as a community talking about the Texans, which you're obviously passionate about enough to watch these videos and to read the content, to follow me on X at @AaronWilson_NFL, on Instagram at AaronWilson7128, and here on YouTube at Aaron Wilson Sports. So I urge you to subscribe. Obviously, it's free. In the future, we're going to plan to do more and more interactive things with you all. I've only been doing this for 4 months now. Started from scratch in October before the Patriots game, and I've seen it continue to grow, and I appreciate you guys being along for the ride. I want to tell you about my friends at Quick Assist. Quick Assist is a great tool to sell your tickets, your unused tickets. Let's say you're not going to go to the Texans game, or the Rockets, or the Astros, or several other professional sports, or Cougs, the basketball team, great basketball team. Quick Assist is a way to sell your tickets and get the best possible price. They use all the most modern analytics. They have all the tools to take this out of your hands, and they're a trusted, convenient way to sell your tickets. So I urge you to support my friends at Quick Assist, and I'll be sharing my link and my code in my bio and in the comments and on the description of the videos. So look for more talk about Quick Assist, and I'm excited to have them as a partner. Appreciate their support, all the great things they're doing at a fast-growing company from the people that brought you Energy Ogre, which helped you get the lower rates for your electricity. And now there's Quick Assist, which is under their corporate umbrella as well. So they're a Houston-based company. Support Quick Assist and support this channel. I appreciate all of your time and you guys listening to me talk about the Texans and read my articles and all that stuff. And so stay tuned. We'll have more upcoming videos, and we look forward to whenever they have a press conference bringing you clips and analysis of what Nick Caley has to say. Not scheduled yet, but look forward to whenever he does have his introductory press conference at NRG Stadium. And just another note, I will be at the NFL Scouting Combine, and so I'll bring you coverage of if D'Amico Ryans and Nick Cassera talk normally do. So coverage of what those gentlemen have to say about the state of the team. And of course, I know some of you guys all like and are passionate about, let's dig into the NFL draft. Let's talk free agency. And so I'll be in Indianapolis and at the Convention Center and at the RCA Dome, Lucas Oil Stadium. Sorry, I'm dating myself there by saying the RCA Dome, but it will be a lot of fun to be back at the Combine. See a lot of my friends, and we'll bring you interviews and everything you're going to want to know about the NFL Scouting Combine and the Texans as they head into free agency, which is the next big step now that the coaching staff is largely, decided upon and contracts being done, and they've added a lot of staff. So we'll see what happens next with the Texans. Keep it locked here on YouTube. Look forward to talking to you in the days and months to come.